Well, look what we have here. Some kind of funky looking box sitting out in the snow. So this thing showed up a few days ago and then proceeded to snow, I don't know, close to a foot or so. So I haven't opened this thing yet, but this is the new transfer case. Get out of the sun. So I'm gonna get this thing opened up, see how it compares, hopefully matching this one. And then we'll get it installed in the truck, and then we also have intake manifold gaskets, and as long as the weather stays decent for this afternoon. Yesterday was pretty cold and windy, but as long as it does, we'll get those installed as well, and the truck's back. That's the 03 Silverado. I got wheels and tires over there to put on as well, so I got a whole bunch of stuff to do, but this is the critical piece. So let's see what we got here. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. It is fancy. Nice. Okay. We got a transfer case. Initial look. Looks good so far. I think we're gonna be okay here. Yeah. I think we're good. I'll get the other one out over here and compare, but I think we're yeah, on the right track here. So okay, so here's a comparison. Looks good. I think we're good to go here. On the new one, we got 3 spots for sensors we can swap over. A couple brackets we can bring over as well. The electronic shifting mechanism, that'll have to be swapped over as well. Vent line, everything matches. I think we're good. I do have to kind of laugh though. The rattle can paint job on this thing didn't even last shipping. It's already chipped off in a whole bunch of spots, but whatever. Looks good from far. And this is the gear shops where I ordered it from. The Bulldog Tough, whatever. That must be their brand. But yeah, so get the thing swapped over here. Hopefully everything works good when we connect it back in and start shifting, but not shifting, but high to low, things like that, 2 to 4. But yeah, looks good so far. Okay, everything is swapped over. 3 sensors, 1, 2, 3, couple brackets up here, and the shifting, whatever it is, the electronic shifting thing. Yeah, that's the official name. But anyway, should be good to go here. Now time to put it in and install it. One thing I noticed is it's got 10mm bolts on the new one, where the original had 15mm as far as what holds the case together. Threads and everything are the same, but I don't know. That was literally the only thing I could notice that's different. So at this point, go out in the snow here, and it's cold, snowy, but get this thing back in and see if 2, 4 high, 4 low, all that stuff works. It's probably about 20 degrees out here, so this is a great temperature to be installing this thing, but oh well. I don't think they realized when they made this little crate that it's going to work as a good little sled here to get the transfer case over to the truck. But hey, whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? Box with a whole bunch of tools over here. And ooh. Bunch of, oh, that's nice. Bunch of ice, and who knows whatever's gonna be down here, but that'll be fun. But anyway, let's get this thing in. Okay, back. It's actually a couple weeks later, a week later, I can't remember when I was filming last, but box still sitting there. The old transfer case is still in the garage, but the reason for the delay was I could not muscle up the transfer case into position under the truck. It's been hanging out under there for the last, I don't know, week or so. but hey, there it is. Yeah, there's enough room to maneuver, but it's just like not quite enough room to kind of lift it up. I could kind of had to pick it up off on my side. I couldn't like kind of like bench press it up, so yeah, couldn't exactly muscle it up there. So bought something to hopefully alleviate that problem. The old beater Audi here. Got some hobo freight stuff. Yeah, a motorcycle lift, which was way cheaper, so this is going to be my transmission jack lift. Got a new creeper because the old one's broken, some gloves, some other things, but yeah, I'm gonna get this out, hopefully see if this transmission motorcycle jack thing is going to work here. Get this thing in because I need that truck. Okay, so not sure what this thing is going to look like, but typical Harbor Freight stuff. Partially assembled. What do we got going on here? Some kind of, what is this other than it's ripping? Is that the jack itself? Oh, it's just a bottle jack. Well, whatever. Okay. 1,500 pounds, so it's rated for way more than a transmission, but, or a transfer case. Looks good enough, I guess. Get this thing assembled, and I don't know. So might have to strap it down because I don't know how great this pad's gonna be, but it's better than I initially tried it with just a regular jack. Could not balance it enough, so did not want to drop that thing on me. So again, so yeah. Let's see what this thing will do. All right, well, it is crazy windy out here, so I might not be filming a ton of this, but got this thing put together. It's, I don't know, I think it'll do the job. It's definitely very cheap, but it works, does everything it's supposed to do. I would say this is probably more of the old school Harbor Freight stuff, kind of the cheaper stuff compared to some of the newer stuff they're selling now. But anyway, let's get this transfer case lifted up there, and then get this project done. Yeah, windy, cold, lovely weather out here. All right, so I'm probably just going to film here in the garage because it is very windy and cold outside. Got some in my eye, got some in my mouth. Ugh. It's all good. You only need one eye, right? But anyway, got the transfer case in. Gosh, it's so windy out there. Got the transfer case in. Pretty easy with that lift, or that jack, whatever you might call it. Balance is much easier than a single one. Of course, I'm doing this on dirt and frozen snow, ice, all that makes it that much more fun. But got it up, and then the last little bit you kind of just wiggle and align it, pop it in place with the 6 bolts. Go in there, you put 6 nuts on, tie them down, or tighten them down, excuse me. The top one's a little tricky, but not too bad. You can barely get a tooth or two on a wrench or on a ratchet and tighten it up. So it's all tightened now. Next is probably put the front drive shaft on, because that's a little tight to get that one in. I'm just going to clean it up. It's been sitting outside for a little bit. And then the brackets and the cross member and the support and all that stuff can go in. Then probably finally rear drive shaft, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but this is the stuff I'm running here. This is just standard Auto Track 2 transfer case fluid. Everywhere I looked said run the standard AC Delco GM stuff, don't bother with anything else. So it's about, I don't know, I think it was like $10 a quart, just right from a GM dealer. Don't exactly know how much goes in. I think it's around 2 quarts, so I bought 3, and I'm just going to keep filling up until it overflows out of the top port a little, and that'll be good enough. So, yeah. Get the rest of this done before it's dark out there, and then make sure it goes in all the gears and drive this thing. All right, almost done with this thing. Cross members back in, drive shaft in. Everything's really hooked up except for rear drive shaft and oh, almost died here. Slipping on the ice. But rear drive, can't really see anything. That's why I wasn't really filming down there. Wasn't much to see. There's a little bit of the transfer case. Yeah, just cold. Rear drive shaft, fill it with fluid. Let's see if it actually works. So, yeah. So this is what I'm going to use to get the fluid from the quart containers into the transfer case. Another hobo freight item here, cheapo little, I don't even know what this thing costs. Not much, but I've used it for a lot of things over the years. And still, somehow the seals are still in there and it still works. Gosh, gasoline, all different kinds of oils, you name it. And water, I think, at some point, and it's still working. So anyway, yeah, just a transfer pump. But anyway, get the fluid in there, and then that drive shaft, and this thing's done. Everything wrapped up on the truck over here. Drive shaft's in. Transfer case fluids, supports. Nothing really to see. It's all dark, but should be good to go. So I'm going to throw a battery in this thing. Hopefully it fires up and runs okay. It does have the gosh, there's no light in here. It does have the intake manifold gasket's kind of worn out, so it's going to idle like a big old cammed big block, but should be good enough to at least run a little bit and see if we can get it in and out of four-wheel drive and use it. Well, it's sort of idling good. It's not bitter cold out here, so maybe when I first fired it up here a couple seconds or a minute ago, it kind of had a rough idle, but seems okay right now. You can sort of hear it, rev. It's definitely not quite good, but good enough to at least test it and see if it goes through the gears and take it for a quick spin. See if we have at least the truck back to life. One of the next big tasks is definitely fixing I have them, so just fixing the intake manifold gaskets. Thing needs an oil change and wheels and tires to go on this thing. There's a whole bunch of stuff I need to do to it, but it just needs to be back to life first. So, yeah, I think let's see if we can move this thing and actually go through the gears. All right, in the truck here, let's see. Gauges are all messed up. As you can see, we're not doing 110 or 105 miles an hour. Kind of cool if we were, though. But all right, it's a neutral for high. Light turned. That's a good sign. For low. Oh yeah, clunk. That definitely went to 4 low. Back to 4 high. Ooh, that sounded interesting, but went back into 4 high, and then back into 2 high. All right, well, test number 1, pretty good. I'm gonna take it for a quick spin, and then see if I can engage it and actually drive around a little. But cycling through the transfer case, or whatever you want to call it, yeah, cycling through the transfer case electronically worked. You could definitely hear it engage, disengage. Yeah, I think we might be good. So one little test here, and I think we're a success. All right, I guess this is the final test. We'll put her into 4 high and then see if we notice that it's doing the 4-wheel drive stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, it's gripping. Oh yeah. Yep, that's 4-wheel drive. That for sure is in 4-wheel drive. Okay. Well, good sign. Make sure it pops out normally. It's going in and out of the, I think, what do you want to call it? In and out of the gears, fine. I think we're good. So, transfer case, new one in, send that old one back, and get that core charge, and yeah, truck is back. I want to do intake manifold gaskets on this thing. What else? Probably wheels and tires. I've had those forever. These things are bald. It's on here now. Just use this thing. It's been sitting for way too long. So thanks for watching this one, and next we'll start. Might be, I don't know, might be a little more wrenching on this. We got the race car stuff, a little bit of snowmobile stuff. Haven't really done any of that, but that's coming up. I gotta fix that ATV. A lot of stuff coming up here anyway. So, but thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Flying. This thing is so fast. We're doing 140 some miles an hour. Doesn't look like it, but yeah, you know.